Hi, Josh. I am definitely more of a Potterhead than you are. I've redid a few of my decorations in honor of that. For instance, I got out my trivia Quidditch, where we have those going after the bludgers to go get the one going after the Gwaffle. Trying to get all that settled before Harry or Draco catches the golden snitch. I've set that up. Pretty excited. Got that at Goodwill for like $10 maybe. Then I have this new game, which is Whomping Willow, which I have set up over here. And I got that at another secondhand store for $8. I found out it was unopened. If I would have known that, I probably would have left it in the box, but as it is, I was able to set up my own Whomping Willow with Miss Luna standing next to it, who is one of my favorite Harry Potter characters. I also have the diadem from Ravenclaw, and I've liked it. I wasn't too crazy about the design, but the things that it does is pretty cool, so I'm going to be wearing that. And this is in a responding video. I know you didn't ask about it, but this is my Potter House answers. And because I was pretty excited whenever I heard what you got, I wanted to make a video also about what I got. And so here I get started. First, I was sorted into Ravenclaw. Okay. This is the second time Pottermore has done their test. First time I was sorted in Gryffindor. I was awesome with that because Neville was in there. And, but then after they rebooted everything, I took it again expecting to get Gryffindor. And I'm not sure if, as you said, it was the growing, that's the house I ended up in, or if I've always been that and they were trying to equalize the houses. I don't know, but now I am Ravenclaw, so I am a Ravendor, is what I will say I am. But anyway, so I've looked up the top 5 traits that are known in to represent Ravenclaws are intelligence, wisdom, sharpness, witty, and individuality. Okay, so a lot of those sound pretty similar. I wanted to see what exactly the differences in them were, so I went to dictionary.com and looked up what they meant. Alright, intelligent is someone who has a good understanding or a high mental capacity. They are quick to comprehend, have sound thought, or good judgment. Wise is someone having the power of discerning and judging properly as to what is true or right, possessing discernment, judgment, or discretion. Sharp. This one kind of got me tripped up a little bit because it was a little bit of a circle definition. The definition is mentally acute. Okay. Whenever I think of acute, I think of a very sharp angle, like in trigonometry. So, acute does mean sharp or penetrating in intellect, insight, or perception. Another part is it's having a thin cutting edge or a fine point, well adapted for cutting or piercing, clearly defined and distinct. Okay, we'll get back to that later. I pressed on that. I'm sorry. Won't be leaning on my laptop no more. Sorry about that. Okay. Witty is possessing wit in speech. Okay, so wit is in the definition of witty. Hate it when dictionaries do stuff like that. But wit is keen perception and cleverly apt expression of those connections between ideas that awaken amusement and pleasure. Okay. Individual. A single human being distinguished from a group. When I first saw that, I was thinking 7 of 9 from Voyager. That was a big part of her journey, was figuring out what an individual was. Okay, so do I match Ravenclaw? Alright, as far as intelligent, I got green with the color test, personality test. I'm going to see if I can find that and put a link below. If not, I'll at least give a link to a general description as to what it is. Am I intelligent, besides being the green personality? Well, I was valedictorian in high school. I have a degree in biochemistry, as Grandpa made the sign for, and Mom got a plaque for. Pretty proud of that. Okay, I'm not really sure if those two achievements are because of my hard work, determination, or if it is intelligence, or maybe a combination of them all. I'd like to think I have good logic, but it's really hard to decide if you're part of that or not. So that's kind of where I'm at. Alright, wise. Oh, that's a high expectation to live up to. There was a recent scenario that made me think I might fit into this category. Okay, I try to take both sides, or as many sides as I can, about a decision. Alright, so we have a friend, and doesn't like cats, was allergic to him. Now he's built up an immune-ish thing to him because his wife has cats. She's had 2 cats, and so he's gotten used to them. The cats are about 15 years old. She's had them since she was younger, and she recently came with her father got a hold of an orphan kitten. It had a couple siblings, but there was one that just really drew her, and so she really wanted this kitten. She talked to her husband about it, and he was originally going to say no, but was still kind of deciding because they had to babysit them for the week, or kitten sit them anyway, for the weekend. So he had some time to think about it, and he's like, hey, Des, I don't want the cats, but she's strong attached to this one. How do I tell her no without it really hurting her feelings? And I was like, well, what if you said yes? He's like, I don't want another cat. I'm like, no, hear me out. It will make it easier to cope with the fact that those other 2 are getting old. They're going to die eventually. It may be sooner than later because of their age. But this kitten would give her the chance to grow attached to it and make it easier with the transition, make it easier to cope when the other 2 die. And so next thing I know, they're keeping this kitten. She's posting it all over Facebook. Hey, look at our new kitten. And he told me that he actually told her that the reason they got to keep the kitten, because she did ask why he changed his mind, because she figured he was going to say no. He said that it's because when the others die, this will have you one that you can love on and that you can cope with that. So my logic was the reason that he decided to do this. Now, how it turns out in the future, don't know, but I guess since I was able to give good advice, that counts as wisdom. That's the only scenario I could really come up with recently that made that as a maybe. Okay, sharp. Okay, the only thing that I can think of as the definition from earlier that makes this work is it can cut through distractions in the mind and work on a problem or whatever's needed for the full connection. Because I had to look up another definition. The ones earlier, I was like, okay, you're looking at knives. I mean, you have a sharp edge on swords. What's going on? Well, Cambridge University describes sharp as a person who thinks clearly and quickly, which is where I'm like, okay, sharp edges, cut through distractions. I can give it that. Whether I have that or not, sometimes if I know I'm like, okay, I have to focus on something, everything kind of goes away. I am focused on that for whatever period of time. So I think I have sharpness available. Whether I use it all the time or not, we'll see. Witty. I love puns and wordplay, so I don't know if my appreciation of them is what counts, or if it's the fact that I can come up with them, because so I don't know which category this would fall under, but there's this guy that was really mad the other day, like he was chewing me out, and the whole time I'm listening, just thinking, I can't do anything about this, I'm sorry, but I was listening to him, and at the end of his little rant, I was like, do you need a bottle of water? And he's just like, whoa, and I'm just thinking, because you need to cool down. I didn't say that because he was fiery, angry, but that was the second part of it, which kind of a little witty. It's just thinking about that situation, it's a little hilarious still. Okay, individual. This one also took me a little while to think about it. It's like, okay, everybody's individuals, but everybody's part of groups. Like, I'm a Christian, so that's a group. I am part of the working class, also a group. I am a cosplayer. Those were three of them that really, I think, kind of distinguish a little bit of who I am. So it depends on where I'm at as to whether I'm an individual in that group. So for instance, if I am at a anime con talking about anime, I'm not really being an individual there. But if I am talking about anime with my guys at work, then I am definitely unique. Conversation is completely not in their wheelhouse. I am very far out of that. And so it kind of depends on where I'm placed, whether it's considered individual or not. So that's also kind of relative. So I'm giving that, maybe. I think everybody's kind of individual, so it's kind of a, I don't know why that one is. Alright, for my wand, so that was all Ravenclaw. Do I fit? I think I hit pretty much all of those in some form or fashion. My wand is a red oak wood with a unicorn hair core, 13 3/4 inch, and slightly yielding and flexibility. Alright, once again, sorry if I moved the screen a little bit, my computer was dying. So anyway, my wand, red oak wood with unicorn hair core, 13 3/4 inch, slightly yielding flexibility. So red oak means that I would have unusually fast reactions, so it's perfect for dueling, which is pretty cool. Light to the touch, quick-witted, adaptable, often creative, distinctive, makes trademark spells, a good person to have on your side in a fight. Does that match? I'll leave that to y'all's discretion. Unicorn hair, most consistent magic, most difficult to turn to the dark arts, remains strongly attached to its first owner. Doesn't matter how accomplished that first owner is, they are still very much attached to them. If seriously mishandled, the will become melancholy. It may even die and have to be replaced, which is a little interesting. It's kind of giving a living aspect. The 13 3/4 inch is on the high end of average, so I think it's pretty cool. It's pretty close to what Neville's wand length was, which he's one of my favorite characters, so I like that was pretty close. Slightly yielding flexibility, so the flexibility gives the degree of adaptability and willingness to change. I think this matches me pretty well. I am able to be adaptable and stuff like that, but I really prefer to go with it until there's not a lot of other choice, and then use my brain to brainstorm all the options and then pick one from there and just stay on it. Some people have compared me to a bulldog with the fact that I am just grab hold of whatever I'm on and just stay with it. Alright, so for my Ilvermorny house, I got a Puck Wedgie, which are the ones that favors the healers. They represent the heart. We know a bit about the Ilvermorny that's in the description on the Pottermore page, so you can go check that out. I'm gonna have that in the link in the description. Alright, my Patronus is a weasel. that one I was super ticked off about for a while. And then I found this website. I'm going to also put that in the link in the description because it's not official. It's actually on a fan site, but they have really good descriptions. It's kind of a generalized, so instead of having the bay stallion, it would have a horse. So yes, there are different species, or like, yeah, species of horses, but it kind of lumps those together, and it kind of gives you a general idea. So mine was actually on here. Like I said, it's a weasel. I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. But I looked at this description, and it said that the weasel is got stealth, energy, and curiosity. I would pay attention to my own intuition, able to see the true intent behind words and actions, self-assured, observant, well-grounded, analytical, and sharp-minded. Okay, after reading that description, I can definitely see why I would have got a weasel, because it made sense. And so yeah, those are my Pottermore results. I will be putting links in the description for some of the various things. And so yeah, do you think that these match me pretty well? Is there anything that you think that I should have had different, or do you think these match pretty well? I'm pretty sporting Ravenclaw right now, and I like it. I'm proud of it. I would cheer my Pottermore, my Harry Potter fandom house before I would cheer a football or a baseball team, because that's more of where I'm leaning toward. But anyway, so yeah, rah rah Ravenclaw. I will catch y'all later.